It's inevitable in Python that when you're learning Python, when you're working with code, that you are going to run into errors. Nobody is a perfect programmer, so you're going to run code and you're going to get an error. And knowing how to solve errors and how to handle these errors within your code is actually very important. So Python uses something called a try and except block, which basically allows you to run code. And if that code fails for some reason, you can raise an error or you can run a different piece of code. But first, but before we actually get into the try and except, let's learn how we can actually read error logs in Python. So if we just go right off the bat, we haven't defined any sort of variables. If we just say print x like this, we're going to get an error because we get a name error. So we're going to get this error that pops up. And this error gives us some information. It'll give us the name of the error. And so this is a name error. There's different error types. And then it will give you the line it was on. So it'll say cell in 34 line 1. So 34 line 1. It's saying on print x there is a name error and name x is not defined. So the reason we're getting this error is because x. So the reason we're getting this error is because I have not defined x, or we have never really defined x. And so when we're trying to print that variable x, it's going to give us this name error. It's going to say, hey, I don't know what x is, right? So let's say we wanted to handle this in some sort of fashion. So this is where we can use those try and except blocks. So if we wanted to not have it totally break, because when this happens, your code does break. Your code just stops working and it's not going to execute anymore. So if we use a try and except, we can say try like this. So keyword try with a colon and then print x. And then on the same level of the try, we'll say except print failed, like that. Okay, so we can say try this and except, like as an exception, if it failed, print failed. Okay, so if we run this, we get failed. And the reason we get failed is because when it ran here, this error happened. And so it goes down to the except block is what it's called. And it prints failed, and that ended up working. So we get the failed output. As well, if we wanted to run a try and except, there is another piece of this block called a finally. So I'm actually not going to go over that. So let's say we wanted to raise a custom exception so that we know exactly what is happening. We can do this with the exception keyword. And so as an example, let's set a value, let's set x equal to 100, like this. And then, so let's set x equal to 100. And then let's say, we'll do a conditional, we'll just say if x less than 101, which it is, right? We're going to raise an exception, raise exception, and then inside of this exception, we can print anything we want. So let's say x is less than 101, like that. And so now if we run this, we will get an exception error, and it tells us exactly the same information before, but we now have our own custom message. So this is very helpful when we want to know exactly why something is failing, because sometimes these errors up here can be a little ambiguous. They can be a little unclear of exactly what the error is. I mean, this one was very clear, but sometimes you'll get some where it's not as clear. So that's where we can use exceptions if we are expecting something to fail in a certain spot, or if we want to see if it fails there, we can get that exception. We can know exactly why it's failing, right? And then as well, we can raise specific types of errors. So if we said x is equal to a string of 100, so put the quotations around the 100, and then we'll say if type of x is not int. So we're basically checking, and we're going to return a boolean of true or false. If the type of x is not an integer, we want to raise a type error like this, and then we'll print not an integer like that. So a type error is just the type is wrong. There is name errors as well. So we're just basically saying in our code, raise type error, not an integer. So if we run that, we get our error, we get all the same information, and we get our output down here on the error, not an integer. So handling errors and working and debugging code is a very important part of programming. It's very simple, like as we kind of look at it. It's very simple as we're looking at it to just kind of look at it and just, it's very simple just to look at it and be like, hey, this is how we can check, and this is how we can handle errors. Some of the errors do get a little bit more tricky than this, so it's not always as straightforward as this, but as you start to program more and as you start to learn more, you'll start to learn how to handle different errors and how you can use these different try and except blocks, for example, within your code, and how you can raise your own custom errors when you're working with your code. So that is it for the error section. So I'll see you in the next video. So that is it for the error section, and I will see you in the next video.